Namaste. Namastizzle. It's your boy, your man, Magic LaQuizzle. Greetings, peace and blessings. Shalom. Waza. Namaste. Hopefully, y'all are having a great week this week. This week has been crazy. It is a beautiful day in Texas after, the scare, not the scare, but uh, the winter weather that blasted most of the United States. Um, it's like they're gonna keep fucking with the weather. So make sure that you are not just staying prepared, staying safe. You shouldn't even have to keep doing that, but make sure your health is in order. You know what I'm saying? Every time I think about the um the ascended masters, the master teachers, saying that we volunteered to come here and to forget. I gotta be like, did I really do that? This place is so fucking terrible, man. You got people, you got psychopaths in office, and then the higher states, the higher echelons of government, literally trying to kill its own citizens. So if you stay ready, you don't have to be ready. You don't have to get ready, I should say. I know that parts of the northeast, got slammed with snow. I don't think this is over with yet, but who knows? You know what I mean? Who knows? Um, like I said, today is a beautiful day, with the exception of Texas. I'm sorry, with the exception of California and Florida. I would say Texas is one of the best places to be when the weather's really nice. Virginia is another place, where the air is it's just a beautiful day today. We had below freezing weather from Sunday till now. You know what I'm saying? So this is how people get sick though. Most people are not prepared. Most people think this is the natural order of things and they don't take care of their health. I just heard that this guy in the bowling league, he just died, had a heart attack right in front of his wife in Vegas. I'm like, wow, he seemed healthy and everything, but that's still going on, and nobody's raising any flags or any sounding any alarms. People just like it's going on, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? What's up, Sharon? Peace, Lenora Rice. What's up? Namaste, Katrina. Don't forget, y'all, hit that like button, share, subscribe as you enter. You know what I mean? What's going on? How you living? How you living? Let's see. Some of the things, I am a big advocate of taking care of yourself. Okay? I know 60-year-olds who look like they're 40. I got one aunt who's 60, she's almost 70, and she's still actually 40. She's been taking care of herself for a long time. But that's the key to it. You know, eating pork and cornbread and nigger food constantly is a sure way to have you exit out of here. You know, of course, people not gonna get that up. They're not gonna give up their hog maws, their chitlins, and just nasty food, nasty animals. The pig is a disgusting animal. The pig is so disgusting, it has two stomachs. Um, I'm sorry. It has an opening. The pig, I'm thinking of the chicken. It has an opening in its rear hoof that discards waste. The pig eats everything in sight. You know what I mean? But people still eat that whole pig from the rooter to the tutor. Well, however that saying goes. But remember, a lot of people got sick. What was it, 3 years ago now? 4 years ago. Wow. 4 years ago, when that event happened, people got sick, like sick, because they're attacking the immune system, y'all. They're attacking the immune system, and I just would like y'all to see uh, have healthy lives. You know, you're here, as I keep saying, you're here to enjoy life while you're here. You're not here to struggle and be miserable, as most people are, especially when you see people's posts. Um, but I posted a meme today that said that, they create a society who are so busy taking pictures of themselves, they don't realize the world crumbling around them. And this is so true. What is this? People get on there and do that, and I'm like, what the fuck? The bad part about doing that is I see men doing it. Like, what the fuck? Do y'all forget how y'all look? It makes me wonder, if there was no social media, would people be taking pictures of themselves every single day? I know people who post a new profile picture every day. They take pictures every day. It's like, what about all the other shit that's happening around you? Um, I don't know a single soul who I have told to watch Azazel News. I don't know a single soul that has actually watched it and watched the shit that's put on. I don't know one person. That's sad. That's sad because that's where the real news is. I don't know too many people who actually get on BitChute and get information from there because that's also news. That's unfiltered, uncensored. There's only a few things left where you can get information from, but people are too busy just into themselves. I've never seen anything like this shit before. But like I said, when I see men doing it, it's like, oh, I'm outside. Hey, what's going? Motherfucker, enjoy the moment. Enjoy you being instead of broadcasting that you outside. You see what I'm saying? Anyway, enough of me bitching. Peace. Hit like, share, and subscribe. Peace, brother Kunami. The pig is vile. Yeah. Sister Shahrazad Ali did a lecture years ago about the worms in pork. Right. The worms in pork is called the trichina worm. Okay. If you was to put a pork chop, let's, for example, put a pork chop in a plastic bag and um, put it in the dark, like in a closet for 3 days. Take that out, pour Coke on the pork chop, Coca-Cola, you'll see the worms come out. This is an experiment when I was calling myself becoming a follower of the Nation of Islam, they had us do. They had you do all kinds of shit there. All kinds of shit. But it was that's where I learned about the trichina worm. And it's a vile animal. It really is. But I got people who still eat chitlins, even though they know that it's the pig's intestines. Your intestines are what filters waste. So you're gonna eat the pig's intestines? Bunch of shit. Nothing that smells that bad is good for you. You see what I'm saying? Nothing that bad smells is good for you. You know, the people that I know that eat pork, they look old, they look tired, they look ugly. It's a fact. This is a fact. You are what you eat. Your skin cells replenish themselves every 28 days. Is a fact. You shed like a reptilian, right? You're closer to a reptilian than you think. Okay. Uh, you wouldn't dream of using a pack of Polaroids on yourself back 20 years ago, right? You wouldn't dream of doing this all day long, every day. It's disturbing when you see a man do that. A man, I'm outside. So fucking what? You outside. You know what I mean? Then posing. Shit is ridiculous, y'all. It's ridiculous. It reminds me of that Black Mirror episode where you get points for doing shit and your actions either add or deduct your popularity count. You know what I'm saying? Black Mirror, it is a lot closer than y'all think. You know, I can't remember the name of the episode, but check that out when you can. I told a few friends about the pork. She told me that she won't stop because her great grand and grand been eating pork forever. I also tried to explain to her it's not the same pork. The meat and poultry is being tampered with. Right. That's the thing. That's my thing. When you tell people this, they refuse. Oh, well, my grandmother did it. So fucking what? That means you can't stop because that's something your grandmother did? My grandmother and my grandfather on my father's side, they ate pork. I refuse. I was already hip to this at a young age. I refuse. I'm like, I'm not eating pork. If I brought potato chips home, my mother would check the ingredients. And if it had pork in it, I had to sit outside and eat that bag of potato chips. Bullshit you not. She was dead against pork. You know what I mean? But I'm all about natural remedies, natural substances, natural cacti, natural plants, medicines, supplements, ayahuasca, weed. Konami posted a great article yesterday on weed. And I just thought it was very interesting. You know, it gives you the benefits of smoking weed. And it says, if you don't mind me reading this, Konami, I know you're watching, but let me know if it's okay if I can read this because it's going to come off your page. I had every intention of doing that in the first place. I meant to tell you that earlier. Sorry to spring it on you now, but I just thought it was profound what this article said. If it's an article, is let me know if it's okay. All right. You wouldn't dream. I like that though. I like that you said you wouldn't dream of using a pack of Polaroids on yourself back 20 years ago. Right. Just okay, cool. All right. So this is from Konami's page. And I thought it was really, really interesting. Profound, even. I'm not sure if there's sound to this. Let's see. Is there sound to this? It is, but let's read. Cannabis played a major role in the rites, medicines, and ceremonies of the ancient world. The Dogon tribe in Africa claims the plant was delivered by the gods from the dog star Sirius. The prefix of Can-Nubis resembles canine or Anubis, the dog-headed Egyptian god of the underworld. The Egyptians ceremonially smoked cannabis right before their death. See, cannabis thins the boundaries between the conscious and the unconscious mind. Done properly, a few puffs can suddenly shift the perspective from what was previously occluded to becomes painstakingly obvious. Shaivites and sadhus partake in the sacred sacrament with special yogic tantric invocation mantras. It's said by bathing the vibrations of the plant, one is cleansed of sins and karma. The ganja plant herself is an expression of the goddess known as Shakti, Prana, Mary, Siddhi, and many more. In Ayurveda, is recognized as one of the 5 sacred plants in the Vedas. Okay? The problem with weed from a societal view is it erodes loyalty to cultural values. The reason it's so legalized now is to provide a synthetic laced version with plant growth hormones, tanking people's hormonal health and misguide the masses to an improper relationship with cannabis, one of dependence and materiality. Okay. While some report their dreams getting more vivid after quitting, others report the opposite. It's because the energy normally channeled to dreams is instead manifested in the cannabis high. The smoking itself involves inhalation of vegetable material, pesticide residues, carbon monoxide, tars. It complicates what cannabis does. Okay. I'm not going to read the rest of that, but cannabis has always been used medicinally and spiritually. When I smoked weed as a teenager, I wrote some of the most amazing poetry and stories. You know, my vision was clear. You know what I'm saying? The problem with doing it now, the problem with doing it now is that um, they put so much in it. They GMO'd the fuck out of it. You know what I mean? You don't, they put so much shit in it, just like they put shit in regular cigarettes. You know, nothing's sacred anymore. This is what I was talking about when I said earlier that you got psychopaths at the top of the food chain, supposedly, trying to fucking do everything to kill you. You know, if that isn't fucking, what is that? That's craziness, right? Trying to make you miserable in every single way possible. Okay. Here are some of the things that I take every single day without fail. Okay. Ginseng, green Panax ginseng. Men, gentlemen especially, but for everybody. Ginseng is great for sexual health. Your sexual health, men, is important. Okay. You should have a healthy dingaling. Right. Your dingaling should get all the way hard. There shouldn't be young girls out there on Facebook talking about the men that they run into with soft dingalings. Okay, that's abnormal, especially when you're young. When you're 18, you should have a hard on 24/7. Okay, I'm dead serious. Zinc goes along with that. Strengthens your immune system as well as sexual health. It makes the private parts very sensitive. And when they sensitive, more pleasure. Builds up sperm count also. That's very important. Testosterone should flow within you, gentlemen. Okay? In case you didn't know. You'd be surprised at how many grown men don't know that. Peace, Bobby L. What's up? In the Book of Clarence, they call weed unholy herbs. Damn. You got to see the Book of Clarence, y'all. Here's yet another movie that's going to be decoded that they put a lot of information in. And wow, guess who's offended? Not Caucasians, Black Christians. Those are the ones who are offended by this because they can't get out of their mind a white Jesus. Think about Good Times and that episode with Florida saying, "This the only Jesus I know, white Jesus." Programming, y'all. It's programming. It still works. That programming. Okay. Ginger. Good for your digestive tract, good for the stomach. If you have any stomach issues, ginger is the one. All right. If I can't take a root or an herb directly, I'll take a supplement. The supplement is the actual last resort for me. But ginger, there's another one I take every day, once in the morning, once in the evening. Okay. Cayenne pepper. All right. This is great to have when the power goes out, in case you get cold. Remember, I'm always talking about cayenne pepper. They have the liquid extract on the Amazon that you can buy. Good for blood flow everywhere, the whole body. Prevents heart attacks. Okay. B6, brain function. I'm always talking about brain function. Okay. Feed your brain. I just made a post last night. Feed your brain. Your brain is the repository of the mind. Okay. You're part of the mind that is the all everywhere. Okay. Your brain is just a repository of that. B6 is specifically, if you take it at night, you're going to have some vivid ass dreams too. Okay. Keep your brain lubricated. All right. That's why you should drink a lot of water too. Okay. Brain food, fish oil or this, DMAE. The first time I took this, the very first time I had some vivid dreams. They were so vivid. I woke up and didn't know where I was at. That's how vivid they were. Okay, I have since gotten used to it. It's been years since that happened, but I still get pretty decent dreams. Once in the morning, once at night. Okay, DMAE. All right, magnesium. Over 300 biochemical processes in the body is regulated by magnesium. Okay, magnesium. Once in the morning, once at night. Vivid dreams. Dreams are important. Okay. If you don't, I switch. This is also magnesium, but this is a different kind of magnesium. This is magnesium threonate. Okay. I don't do this once in the morning, once in the evening. I do this one 1 hour before bed. Okay. Regular vivid dreams. Okay. When you're interacting and everything, lucid dreams. You should always have on hand silver. The kind of silver, colloidal silver, does not matter. Okay, get you a good. Now I fucks with Now products for years. They are good. They have good products, good natural substances. Okay, good natural substances. All right, should have this. This will strengthen your immune system. When the event happened 4 years ago, when we were making packages, care packages for people who were getting sick, zinc was one of those. Zinc, ginger, silver. Okay. Most people recover within a day or two. Huperzine A, I switch. I switch off either DMAE or Huperzine A, which is Chinese moss. Okay. I've done several videos with several lives on here showing the kind of herbs you should be taking daily. All right. Any questions? Okay. All right. Let's hear from the master teacher now that I got that out of the way. The reason I came on here today about your health is because the change and shift in the weather also affects people's health. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Let me just read this to you. To lower the chance, this is from the doctor. To lower the chance of stroke in patients with high blood pressure and a heart problem called left ventricular hypertrophy, something like that. Cozar may not help black patients with this problem. All right? It says it on the fucking medicine. The shit don't work on you. Here it is right here. It'll be over my table. You can look at it. The high blood pressure medicine may not work on, what does it say here? Patients. May not help black patients with this problem. So they're telling you. So they're like, as a matter of fact, I went to the doctor one time for a free checkup, see you got for the job. I said, fuck it, I'll go and see what they say. I know it ain't shit wrong with me, and of course, nothing was wrong with me. But even the doctor that was there was a brother. He said, yo, you know, blood pressure and all that shit, y'all shouldn't be coming here for that. Your wife should not be taking this.
Every time I go to the doctor, this was just very rare. Every time I go, though, the doctors are always amazed that nothing is wrong with me. So much so that I asked the last time, I said, is this abnormal for nothing to be wrong with me at my age? And he said, yeah, it is abnormal. They expect you to be in bad health at a certain age. At a certain age. Your blood pressure is always going to be higher once you go in the doctor's office. It's always going to be higher. Okay? The blood pressure medicine gives you blood pressure. High blood pressure, I should say. All right? Now's not the time to be trusting shit, to be quite honest. All right? What's up, S lady? What's going on? What are you showing? I'm showing a lecture by the master teacher, Azazel Bay. That's what I'm showing. showing how to take care of your health. Peace, Caribbean Grimoire, what's going on? Hail Zeus. Oh, shit. I didn't even say that. Today is Thursday, the day of Jupiter. As you can see, I have on black. I'm sorry. I have on blue. I also have on purple. That's the colors of Jupiter. The day of prosperity, abundance, money. Okay? You want to do a money ritual today, do it in a Jupiter hour. Or do it in a sun hour. Okay, get that planetary app that I'm always telling y'all about. All right. Like I said, the news today that someone passed away in front of their wife in Vegas. It was there for a tournament and passed away from a heart attack. Seemingly healthy, died of a heart attack. You know, it amazes me that people are dying constantly now, like constantly. And not a word is being said of it. Nothing. Nothing at all. What's up, peace, brother Moore? I'm used to you being late, sir. Hell, brother. Oh, I'm sorry, you're speaking to Konami. Oh, God. What's going on, everybody? Like I said, today is a great day. Y'all don't know him. There was somebody here local in the bowling league. We heard before we started our league today, you know, they made an announcement that he had passed away in Vegas. Yeah, he wasn't that old, you know, in front of his wife. He had a heart attack. And I was like, wow. The thing is, I'm seeing a lot older people, they're out of here a lot. They really are out of here. You know what I'm saying? So I meant to show y'all, I showed y'all the substances I take, the supplements. I meant to bring my mushrooms, the Amanita muscaria, you know, the herb of immortality. I take San Pedro, all of these plants. You got to understand, all these gods, the ancient gods left us clues, not in just the architecture of the ancient structures, but they left plants and herbs for us to consume to connect with Mother Nature. Okay, expand your consciousness. See beyond the veil of this world. See what I'm saying? I got off today, just lost track of time. No, it's all good. It's all good. Let's hear from a PhD doctor. Okay, let's hear from, drum roll, Jewel Pookrum. Let's hear from her. She has a PhD in medicine. Let's hear what she has to say.
In the body. So therefore, even though it might be cold on the outside, they don't feel that very much because they don't have a blood supply that is taking a lot of information to the skin anyway. But the major areas of the body, their flexible joints, their liver, etc., is staying warm because all the blood is pooled there in their only circulatory system. So when I began to look at environment and its effect on the structures of bodies, and then why bodies were structured the way they were based on the functions they were to serve, then it got very clear to me as a physician that there were some serious problems in the healthcare system in relationship to honoring the uniqueness of an individual's body and what it was supposed to do. Now, how many of your physicians are telling you this? And how many of your physicians are able to basically tell you why there's certain food you should have, why certain vitamins you can't take, and most of all, why certain drugs are very dangerous for you because of these unique structures that you have? Now, you can go to your plant store or your botanical store, and they'll be able to give you this information for any particular plant. Chrysanthemums, roses, petunias, etc. They can tell you what to give them, what not, the food, etc. that they should have. You can go to your pet shop, and they can tell you why French poodles have to have a certain type of food with certain type of protein in them and a certain type of fat concentration, whereas a German Shepherd has to have something totally different. But why not for humans? Now, I thought that was incredible. that we have ecology for pets, ecology for animals, and there's no ecologic system created right now that's practiced to make sure that each unique type of human being maintains and stays the best that it can be. So now, what do you do then if you are paying into and visiting a system that has not seen you or thought of a need to give you the best information for you so that you can be the best? Well, you have a lot of choices. The simplest, obvious two is that you can then demand that the system give you that, or you can do the study on your own and give it to yourself. And so that's why I felt that it was extremely important to put this information down so that you could have it to make some decisions about how you wanted to continue to treat yourselves. Because what is being offered to us and available at this point in time is not honoring the unique attributes and principles that we have, which is why they just tell you right up front, you all don't seem to do well when you come here to get our medicine, etc. Okay, but now they never told you why that you didn't do well. But now you can have the answer. There's a tremendous amount of information to let you know why. I want to bring it to your attention about just a few more things. It was real interesting when we started looking at drugs, because I was very concerned about that. If I prescribe for you a phenothiazine drug, which is Haldol, Elavil, Prolixin, Thorazine, all of these different type drugs, because of supposing you're having some problems being able to stay in the orientation of this space and time and this reality. Or if I prescribe for you a hypertensive drug, was I really giving you the proper concentration based upon your unique chemistry? And when I began to do the research on that, just these two particular families of drugs, I found out that I was doing you a disservice, because it has been identified that giving Africans and melanin-dominant individuals Haldol, Prolixin, Thorazine, etc., the dosage has to be significantly low. Because of the amount of neurologic tissue that we have, this drug has a tendency to cause extreme impairment of the nervous system very rapidly. And that it had already been identified that the Caucasians needed a much higher concentration of these drugs to have the effect than the African. Now, for those patients that have come to see me that for whatever reason were diagnosed to have been schizophrenic or had an acute or mild depression, they were on the highest doses of this stuff. And when you looked in the PDR, it was actually the same dose that was recommended that was based for the Caucasian. Thank you.
So she's speaking a little bit in medical terms, but she's kind of trying to make it plain. At the same time, she is trying to make it where she doesn't get censored, so she shouldn't have to do that. But here we are. If you continue to act like race isn't a problem, everything's based on race, pretty much. Okay. I'm not telling you should be consumed with it. It's just that the medical industry is not your friend. It has never been your friend. Okay. They put out information in movies that show you how much experimentation they have done on melanin dominant people, copper colored people. Check out a movie with Alfred Whitaker called Miss Evers' Boys. Okay. They've been putting out movies that showcase race and the dynamics between melanin dominant people and Caucasians for years. You know what I'm saying? I hate to break this to you. Not the same people. We're all the same? No, we're not. We're built differently. Genetically, we're different. This is what Jewel Pookrum was just saying. Okay? You have to give us the lowest dosage of shit. All right? And yet still they give us the highest. All right? All this information is readily available. All right? In the Heat of the Night, Sidney Poitier. Okay? This Caucasian slaps him. He slaps him right back. This is the first time a black man slapped a white one on screen. It's called The Slap Heard Around the World. If you put that in Google, it's going to come right up. Got it? It's going to come right up. Right? This shows you privilege. How? The man says, there was a time I could have had you hung for that. And Sidney walks away. He's mad as shit, but he walked away. You know, what I found out behind the scenes is that they had to put barriers around the movie set while they were filming that scene. Because if not, they would have had no support again from the locals. Okay. This is how strained the relationships and the privileges. We have the most terrifying, not terrifying, the most terroristic organization wear masks and do incredible acts of violence, and then go back to being judges and lawyers and cops. You know, people at the highest levels of law. You see what I'm saying? I just spoke about this for 2 lives last week. It extends to the medical industry. You see what I'm saying? It extends to that. All right. So you can walk around here pretending race doesn't matter. It still matters. Okay. The issue is, how do you deal with it? And that's what I've been trying to give y'all here. Okay. I've been heavily suggesting the Watchmen series with Regina King. In the 6th episode, they show her going back in time through her memories. I thought this was incredible. I said, when they show you something on screen, it's already 5 years old. These nostalgia pills. You're not supposed to take someone else's memories, but she took her grandfather's and experienced what he experienced when he was in his early 20s with racism. He became Hooded Justice, a superhero, vigilante. Okay? Superhero vigilante, the first vigilante, right? Once he joined the team of superhero vigilantes, he had to hide who he was. He had to put makeup around his eyes so that they would think he was also Caucasian, right? Everything has had to be whitewashed. Everything. Why is that? But you talk to a Caucasian now, they swear up and down they don't have privileges. I mean, it is what it is. Dr. Phil Valentine broke that down in his 7-hour lecture, Somatic Death. They call me Mr. Tiz. Yes, yes. Yes, he's one of my favorite actors. He's my wife's all-time favorite actor, Sidney Poitier. Peace and Harmony, Brother Ronan. Watchmen series. You must watch it. I've been suggesting this for the past month. Wow, I've been suggesting it for the past month, Caribbean Grimoire. Where you been, man? I've been heavily promoting that. But okay. Something else I wanted to show y'all. Give me a second here. So why am I bringing this stuff up? Because it goes with my last 2 lives. That's why. Okay. My point in bringing this all up is just awareness. All right. Dr. Manhattan was an interesting case. He's the most powerful being in the universe through a scientific accident. Okay. And he exiled himself in the movie to Mars because he was sick of people, period. You know, he, in my opinion, is the culmination of you reaching your full potential. In my opinion, we all can be Dr. Manhattan. Okay? We all can be Dr. Manhattan because he wasn't born that way. Through a freak accident, he became that way. And he experienced past, present, and future all simultaneously. You know what I mean? Simultaneously. Like I said, the reason I'm bringing up race is because you need to be aware of this shit going forward. None of this has actually ended. You see what I'm saying? It has not ended. Let's continue. Let us continue with Jewel, Miss Pookrum.
So I was quite concerned about the fact that many of the individuals that I was seeing that were taking this were having problems with memory loss. They were having problems with bladder control. They were having problems with severe paranoia, even far beyond when they got on the medication. And I would ask them to ask their doctors, did they know anything about why they should have these kind of reactions? And every time the patient would come back and say the doctor doesn't want to cut the dose down. As a matter of fact, too many times it was increased. So I'm like, oh, this is very, very interesting. It was also noted that the antihypertensive drugs, because of the structure of our bodies, that when they gave us enough to decrease our blood pressure, everything else decreased. Our desire for sex, desire to eat, desire to think, desire to move, and everything else. I'm like, oh, this is like really interesting. So the key here is, what are we going to do? Because now it's very clear that there is a whole hospital system that we have been asked to become clients of, that do not have the information to be able to treat us appropriately based on our basic chemistry and sensitivity. Are you going to ask the doctor to go back to medical school to find out what is needed for you? And most of them, I don't think, would take that too well. So the key here is that there needs to then be an understanding that there are certain things that you can do for yourself to help you until the system catches up with understanding who they are treating. I was very surprised to find out that because of our structure, we mature almost 50% faster than the Caucasian race. That is to say that they have identified the fact that the African is an adult by age 14. That the African can actually begin to be toilet trained by 6 months of age. And so therefore, when the African child is held at home and not allowed to go to school until he or she is 5 years old, retardation has already ensued. When the African child is not asked to begin to become aware of their own neurologic function and memory function at 6 months old, and they're asked to wait till 2 years old, retardation has already ensued. So now, then what are we to do? Because now we have to become aware of the fact that we are living in a system that is not serving us for us to be our best. We can ask the question if that is the system's responsibility, or is it ours to give ourselves the best?
Is it ours? Isn't it interesting that police view 12-year-old kids, and I'm thinking of Tamir Rice, as an adult? And then Jewel Pookrum just said, we're pretty much adults at the age 14. Now, isn't it interesting that they see us as adults when we're children? It's because they know all this information, y'all. They know all this information. Y'all the ones who don't know this information. Just finished watching. What does that say? Just watching What If? What If was one of my favorite segments of Marvel. One of my favorites. Again, one more time, let me say this. I'm not doing this just because. I'm not doing this to upset nobody. It's because people are dying at an alarming rate and nobody seems to even be aware of it. You know, you can heal. I mean, fuck it. Urine therapy can help you. Here's a clip I did want to show y'all. Why everybody's so obsessed with taking selfies and shit like that. All this other shit is going on.
They said the best thing to keep stuff away.
Check this out.
They said the best thing to keep stuff away from black folks is to put it where? In the book. Guess what? I love to read, baby. I could read to y'all all day. Here we go. Let's go. We reverse nature by burning and pulling one civilized apart and bullwhipping the other to the point of death, all in her presence. By her being left alone, unprotected with the male image destroyed, the ordeal caused her to move from her psychological dependent state to a frozen independent state. In this frozen psychological state of independence, she will raise her male and female offspring in reversed roles. For fear of the young male's life, she will psychologically train him to be mentally weak and dependent, but physically strong. Because she has become psychologically independent, she will train her female offspring to be psychologically independent. What have you got? You've got the nigga woman out front and the man behind and scared. This is a perfect situation for sound sleep and economic. The Latin word for respect is respectus. And guess what it means? It means to look back at. To look at again. I challenge you, sisters. Look at your man again. Look at your son's father again. And instead of looking at him through the eyes of the white supremacists, look at him through who you know he truly is deep down inside. Pray for him. Respect him. Love him. Help him to become the king and the God that he truly is. They said the best thing to keep.
Or if I could hug this sister and thank her for saying just that right there. Okay. Where else have you heard this from? Have you heard this anywhere else? I guarantee you have. Was this written down as a formula to plantation to plantation? Keep the man psychologically weak, physically strong. Put the woman out front. I told y'all there's a good friend of mine. We were friends since we were children. I used to wait for when I was unemployed in Philadelphia. Downtown's a big area. And I used to wait for her downtown for her to get off work. She worked at a bank at the time. Okay. Busy section and subways there. You know, and I used to just observe. Of course, Caucasian men and women walking around, coming from work, you know, business suits, business attire, and Black women, you know, copper-colored women. Same. You've very rarely seen brothers going to and from work, except if they was like janitors or something like that. I'm like, I know I'm not tripping when I see this. I saw this every single day. Okay. The bad part about this is that people don't see it. The Willie Lynch letter. Thank you. I was trying to I couldn't remember it. Okay, but yeah, the Willie Lynch letter. All right. The Willie Lynch letter. You're living it right now. Okay. Nobody sees it. All they see, every time I see an argument between a copper-colored man and woman, they're just arguing. They're just going at each other. Here's another Black man disrespected. They don't see that there's a root cause to all of this. See what I mean? All of this. That plan has worked so fucking well. You know what I mean? So fucking well. Y'all need to buy why am I looking here? Y'all need to buy the African Holistic Health Revised and Expanded by Layla Africa book. Learn how to treat, diagnose, and treat yourself. What's up, Sister Righteous? I didn't see you come in. You know what I mean? All these things, like I said, and they don't have to do anything anymore. All right. Now, this is going to be the last time I speak. Well, somebody told me that you think that's going to be the last time you speak about racism. Maybe not. I'm going to try to make this the last, not because I'm making anyone uncomfortable. It's just, this gets to be a redundant conversation. It's redundant, but I think people need to know it. There should be no need for an anti-racism charm that I need to give y'all. There should have never been a manual, a green book for melanin dominant people to have to travel somewhere safely. Have Caucasians ever had to have that? Who has the power to gentrify whole neighborhoods? Who has that power? See what I'm saying? People are blind to all of this stuff. Indeed, our people are blind to it. I read to my mother and she was in disbelief, but it's being perpetuated daily online with the how value men. What do you bring to the table conversation? Absolutely. I see this conversation every day. Every day. A lot of times, yeah, on my Facebook page, I'll do a lot of clowning. I do a lot of cutting up on my Facebook page because that's the only way you get people's attention these days, if you just clown, right? But I observe. I'm always scrolling. I'm always looking at different conversations. I'm always reading, okay? I see this conversation every damn day. Every day. What do you bring to the table? No, what do you bring to the table? Okay. Do you still live with your mama? Nobody's willing to come together and meet and build something together. Nobody's willing to do that. They're looking at the surface shit. Okay. That Willie Lynch letter was a motherfucker. It really was. How did our ancestors let the prisoners run wild on our land? For that answer, Lenora writes, good question. Good question. I say the Moors, but good question. Look at any of Yafa Bey's videos. How to Survive the Fall of Rome. What's the other one name? I love looking at sister teachers. I do. I really do. Jewel Pookrum, who I've been showing y'all how to, Dr. Yafa Bey. The sister's teaching is a whole different thing in a great way. Dr. Yafa Bey, the real piercing, the fog, you know. She has the answers to that. I don't want to get into that there. I don't really want to get into this.
Stuff away from black folks, put it where?
You know, but it's a conversation we've been needing to have for a long time. Let me see. Is there anything else? All right. Last thing about Jewel Pookrum.
In closing, it seems like time goes so fast. I just want to relate to you just a couple more things. That in this melanin research, it was noted that many of the opiate drugs, and actually they refer to parts of the melanin as the opiomelanotropic molecule, that opium, heroin, tetrahydrocannabinol, which comes from marijuana, crack, all have parent structures exactly like a large part of the melanin molecule. Now, I thought that was very interesting, that the basic core structure of these street drugs have the basic core structure of the melanin molecule. So it has always been noted that when a melanin recessive individual and a melanin dominant individual were detoxing from the use of these drugs, the melanin dominant individual had a tremendously much more difficult time in doing so. Well, now we know the reason. Because when this substance is put into the body, it is not just put into the body and excreted through the urine and through the lungs and liver. It actually binds to your melanin. And depending upon what you're eating and what you're not eating, can bind to it for life.
For life.
Fine. That means then that our detox programs have to have some different features in them for melanin dominant individuals to be able to detoxify from these substances. When you ask what is the program that our detoxification or drug rehab programs have to break these substances off the melanin molecule, what is their response to you? They look at you like you're crazy. They don't know what you're talking about. It has been identified that we secrete melanin on a 24-hour basis, and that based upon our activity, what we've eaten, the concentration can go up or down, and also based upon our health. If you happen to get a urine sample tested for particular drugs that I've named, because the melanin molecule and that drug have the same parent structure, you probably will test positive. Isn't that interesting? So we wonder how many people have been incarcerated because they've been accused of breaking their probation or fired from their job because they've been accused of using drugs when they were only excreting a normal byproduct of their body.
Normal byproduct.
And last but not least, in all this extensive research, it has been identified that the AIDS virus will not grow in the presence of melanin.
Will not.
And that as they have taken these culture plates and streaked them with melanin, the AIDS virus cannot be cultured on those plates. AIDS and melanin do not go together. And as a matter of fact, in these books that I have back here, that's one of the new research drugs that they're going to use to cure AIDS, is a form of melanin. So now what does that say about supposedly the African people that have melanin? Do they have it or don't they have it? Or has something happened to their melanin molecule that no longer stimulates their immune system? Because there's a direct relationship between the health of your melanin and your immune system. Those races that have little melanin or do not have what we call pheomelanin, eumelanin, excuse me, have immune system disease problems much more frequently. So now this goes into what I call a sociopathic reaction about melanin, because we have found that individuals who have issues with melanin, because they are not able to utilize the molecule openly and receptively, their thoughts create chemicals from the brain that actually deactivate the molecule. Now that was really profound. So I will say that again. I want you to clearly understand that those individuals who have issues about having melanin, that is that in our cultural society as Africans, there are cliches, there are statements about being too black, about having too nappy hair, about having a nose that's too wide, etc. When those type statements are made, the brain will secrete a substance that will begin to attack the aspect of yourself that you are having issues with.
Understand what she said. This is why I say don't ever talk bad about yourself, even as a joke. Don't ever do it, because your mind doesn't know the difference if you're joking or not. It starts to react. She said a substance starts to secrete from your brain when you do this. Okay, she was very careful with her wording. Understand that. We're the only ones who need to do this. Understand that. You know, very careful what she said. But if this was if this was supposed to be a crisis, and we were the ones who was actually accused of having it the most, and Ms. Jewel Pookrum just said, melanin, AIDS don't mix. How in the fuck did we get it then? How? Okay. One of their resources that they use all the time, statistics. I hated statistics in college. I hated it, you know. But you can use statistics to gather data, right? And they can tell the masses anything. Why do people still think that we are all deadbeat dads? We don't want to have anything to do with our children. Why do people still think this? You know what I mean? They use statistics for a lot of shit to back up their own narratives. But if we genetically can't have it, how are we getting it? When I used to try telling other copper tone people about Willie Lynch, etc., I was ridiculed, called Malcolm X. In other words, somebody they'd rather see killed off for sharing unconventional truth. I'm not surprised. You know, your own people will attack you. You know, I must have been crazy to start a channel on magic, on the actual practice of magic. I must have been out of my mind. You know what I'm saying? I think this lecture is online in parts. It probably is. Like, check the company that puts out a lot of Bobby videos, Serious Times Media. They might have it. This lecture is called Melanin Technology. Okay, what Dr. Jewel Pookrum was saying is that there's a racist fucking system that in the medical industry that's used against us, just like every goddamn thing else. Everything. Okay. So you have to be aware. And that's, well, like I said, this is my reasoning for doing this. These 3 lectures now. Awareness. All right. Awareness. Okay. It has not gone anywhere. It has just evolved. That's it. Just evolved. But the fact that people lined up 3 years ago, 4 years ago, to get experimented on amazed the fuck out of me. You know what I mean? This country has a history, a documented history of experimenting on our melanin, and yet people still line up to be guinea pigs. In my country, the lighter your skin color, the more respect and special treatment you get in society. People assume you're of a good nature, no consideration towards you having a good character. And that's something I said last week. How did it get to that point? If history is correct, and it says that certain people came on the scene 2,000 years ago, yet the earth is millions of years old. How did it get to the point where in other countries, there's a caste system, especially in India? India was where it started. There's a caste system, okay? The darker you are, the more on the bottom you are. The lighter you are, the more up top, okay? Where did this come from? This came from hundreds of years of conditioning of the masses, okay? I think I would be considered mulatto. I might need to be a little lighter. I don't know, you know. Awareness, people. Awareness. All right. That's my time for today. I hope y'all enjoyed. I am definitely going to try for this to be the last thing that I say about race. Okay. Because I think I could go on for the rest of my time here on that particular subject alone. Okay. I like to try, keep it on magic. All right. And Kunabi said that one is on Serious Times. Okay, cool. I hope y'all have a good rest of your day and rest of your weekend. Have a good weekend. Who knows what it's going to be like, but today is absolutely beautiful. And then we're going to be 40 tomorrow. So enjoy the rest of your day. Do your meditations, do your subliminals, do your magic. Continue doing magic. I'm the one and only, the mystical, dynamic, sorceress, magical, diabolical, sorceress. I did say that, right? Hilarious, undeniable, personable, the one and only, Magic Lacroix. I will see y'all next time. Thanks for joining me, y'all. Namaste.